Hey, uh, ooh, I'm making this video. I don't know how many videos I've made. People are watching them. I know one friend is watching. Um, I see that people are looking, or maybe the friend is looking more than once. I'm not looking because it's really hard for me to rewatch them. But my friend told me, gave me an idea for a topic, which would be like, why am I choosing to be homeless? Or the topic is like, why am I choosing this life of homelessness? Now, I didn't start it off thinking like I was gonna do it forever, but it was like more of a mission. I did have like a spiritual experience, and I felt like in that experience, it did tell me to do this. But then I also feel like maybe that was like the subconscious coming through, um, just really strong and telling me to do this because doing this, living on the street, has been something I've thought about for a very long time. But each time that I came close to doing it, I got scared and it just was like, nah, And I wanted stability because I wanted certain things, and I didn't see that living on the street was a way to gain those things. So I like forfeited the the experience in order to try to pursue other things. But I would say, and I've told this friend, like I've never really felt bad for the homeless. I always admired the homeless because I thought they were really strong and resilient to live a life on the streets. And when I was in Houston, I was really trying to figure out a way to stay in Houston. But I really wanted to leave Houston. I really wanted to go to New York, but I was a little scared to go to New York, so I was trying to find reasons like to stay in Houston, and you know, something happened, and I was like, okay, I got to get out of here because I was getting depressed, and I was like, I'm gonna go to New York and I'll just live on the streets, and a lot of people spoke out against it. They were like, don't do that, that's crazy. But what fueled the my momentum was the homeless people, and someone's calling, but was homeless people because I saw like the same homeless people at this time. I was going like downtown to clubs with my friend, and we would run into the same homeless people every week, and they were surviving like for at least 5 years, longer than that. But like I was like witnessing the same homeless people for about 5 years living on the streets, and I just admired them. And I would say I even had a fascination with the homeless before that, even as a kid. And I was thinking about this morning, and the thought always stayed with me. And I was actually listening to something that's saying like our memories change over time. But I remember one time I was a kid, like 8 or 9 7, and I saw this homeless lady, and she was home, like she looked homeless, and she sat down, and we were in the car, and we got out of the car, and we were getting ready to go to like say a restaurant or something with my mom and her friend. And within that time of getting out of the car and actually like walking away from the car to go to the restaurant, the homeless woman that I saw walk up, she had sat down and she was covered, and she took off her hat, and she had all this like thick hair, and she started to apply makeup, and she just transformed into like this homeless woman into this beautiful woman. And it was like it was an illusion, and it was like magic, and I just was like so fascinated with like, also what went on in my head was like maybe she was like that was a hustle, like she was planning to be homeless to get money, but she actually wasn't homeless, or she's a beautiful woman, just so happens to be homeless, and I just thought it was so magical. I've always thought homeless people were magical. I think as a kid I might have felt a little bit more sad because of their situation, because I didn't know why were they on the streets? But as I got older, um, you know, sometimes you hear stories and it is sad, but I just always admire them for their resilience. So, um, but my reasons, I don't know. I really don't know. I would say since I've been doing it, it has been less stressful, like because I don't have to come up with money for rent. And I have like money, but in the money that I make, I don't have to like work real hard to pay rent or bills. Um, so to witness like the feeling of not like having less stress is nice because when I was back in New York and I was working really hard to pay rent, it was a good satisfying feeling like, oh, I'm paying my rent with my art. But I worked really hard to do that, and I knew I didn't have to work that hard, but something told me like, I needed to work that hard. And I would say working really hard really helped me do what it is that I'm doing now. But now I'm not working as hard, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but I like the feeling of not being so stressed out on like work, which like paying bills and rent. And then, you know, I came here and I was thinking, I wasn't thinking like I would do this forever. But now, like after all this time, like maybe I could do this forever. I would definitely like to like continue to travel. I would be worried that if I had stopped traveling, maybe I would just fall back into a system of like working and paying rent and working and paying rent. And I just don't think I would really want to do that. But the plan was never to like do it forever. But now I just don't know. I just take it one day at a time. So thank you for the idea of that, like what I just spoke about. I know it's rambly. I might look at it over. If someone's watching the videos, I'm not. I was thinking like maybe the numbers are going up. You know, it's a low number, but it's like I'm not watching the videos, so I don't know if my friends watching the videos over and over, but yeah, hopefully eventually I'll hear back from someone if there is anybody out there that's interested in this life. I keep on thinking like I'm so thankful for this. It's like cathartic, and I really wanted to share my trip, and I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna let it go. All right. Have a good night. Bye.